These are the frequently asked travel nursing questions. Peter, let's just say I have a family and I can't travel to another state. What if I want to travel nurse within my own state? Can I do that?
Technically speaking, you can, but you're gonna miss on a big chunk of the stipends. So the radius is you cannot or you shouldn't do travel nursing anywhere under 50 miles away from your permanent residence. So you can't drive, 15 miles and take on that travel nursing contract. Why? Because then you lose out on those stipends. They're gonna give you less stipends and you're not gonna make much more than a regular staff nurse. So they require at least 50 miles of distance. But the thing you could do is if you have the money too, you can have a home in multiple states and you could just change your permanent mailing address, around between contracts. So even though you're actually living in your Illinois home, your permanent address is your home in Iowa. You could kind of fiddle the system in that sense.
That, or let's just say you want to take a contract like 55 miles away, try to see if you could do threes in a row where you go sleep in a hotel for 3 nights and then come back home for 4 days. That's totally possible. And I believe if you do a contract less than 50 miles away, what happens is you still might be able to work at that hospital, but you're just going to get an hourly rate straight up. They can't give you a stipend because you technically are next to your permanent address. That's the only gimme there. But let's just say you want to work for a huge university hospital and you can't get in there as a staff nurse. That travel nursing gig might just help you set up so you can know some people in that unit and then kind of get your way in with the manager and then, hey, you have a job. So those are all things that you can do with that.
Yeah, there are nurses that we've met that have a staff position where they work maybe once or twice a month or maybe once a week, if that, and then their full-time job is actually that travel contract. So like Matt said, is they line up their days three in a row where they just fly in, work their shift, and fly back.
All
That's also
possible.
that's also a good motivator because if you're making two or three times more out of state and you're bringing that in indirectly, that's going to be of financial value for you.
Yeah. So don't get discouraged if you're traveling within a state. It's still doable.